Right here or over there?
You have tickets to this board. Okay, then you all the tickets are jammed. So just if you go down here, there's a sign that says Gate 2. You get in line there, we'll check you in soon.
Okay, sure. Okay. Not yet, right?
We're gonna start it in just a few minutes.
Okay.
If you guys have our tickets, it's going to be on Pier 45, Gate 2. So we're just going to check you in by your last name. It's going to be on Pier 45, Gate 2. Thank you. If you guys want to join us, you can still purchase your ticket right here at the Red.
resident Fisherman. On the other side of Mount Tam is Muir Woods, where you can stroll through a grove of 300-foot-tall redwoods. They are the only old-growth trees left in the Bay Area. Hunting grounds, good weather, and fresh, clear streams. Remember, the San Francisco Peninsula was sand dunes, not an easy place to find food. When the Spanish explorers arrived, they dubbed the island La Isla de Nuestra Señora de los Ángeles, the island of Our Lady of the Angels. Over the years, the island has been a watering hole for passing whaling ships, a cattle ranch, and a military base. But many people have forgotten that Angel Island was once the Ellis Island of the West. From 1910 to 1940, Angel Island was an immigration station. Hundreds of thousands to begin his new life in
Inspector, call my name.
Say, Tybo. That means San Francisco bound. Freedom.
I was so happy. I was running around the place saying goodbye.
While they waited, just a few miles from freedom, intruders carved poems into the walls of the barracks. Some lonely night,
During the first months of their occupation, Alcatraz became a rally for native Americans.
Alcatraz was once the most dreaded, dangerous, high-security prison in the U.S. penal system. You had to commit a serious crime and be a major threat to the safety of other prisoners in order to get sent to the Rock. One of those prisoners is here to tell his story, Leon Whitey Thompson.
The day that I was on the boat sailing over to Alcatraz, I had like a flashback of the days when I was a youngster. I heard a lot about Alcatraz when they first opened it up. And I never dreamed that one day I would be on a boat sailing to the island to become a resident of the Rock myself.
Thompson had already spent 10 years in prison for armed robbery when he made that trip. He would spend another 4 years at Alcatraz.
I can't say I was scared. I wasn't scared. It was just a real eerie feeling. I felt like a guy that's going into the ground, because it's like a final destination. And that's the way I felt when I was going up to the Rock. See? It was the point of no return.
The average inmate population was 260 men. The prison could have held more, but it was never filled to capacity. You've probably heard of some of its famous inmates: Machine Gun Kelly, Al Capone, and Robert Stroud, better known as the Door at their work assignments. The prison had some industries like a furniture shop, first all-pink